2, 3.
So, do you guys have any dreams?
Yes.
So everyone have their own dreams, and today I will share with you guys the story of how I managed to achieve one of my own dreams. So before that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. I bid to DTM Azmi, competent Gavel communicators and fellow Gaveliers. So it all started when I was 12, after the UPSR has ended. Of course, since UPSR has ended, all the teachers have prepared a lot of programs for us, the 6th graders. And one of that is the singing competition. And in the singing competition, my group actually got in the top 3. But that's another story. So the thing is, a few weeks later, the teacher asked our group to perform during the graduation ceremony. And we were like, what? Why our group? Why not the group that got the first place? And the teacher said she has her own reasons. Well, although I never got to know what the reason is, but I don't really care about it. So we trained for the singing competition. We trained a lot for those few weeks. And finally, the day came. The day before the graduation. The day I got to achieve my dream. So during that day, I actually got into a fight with one of my batchmates. And he was the leader of the group that actually got first place during the singing competition. He was actually mad because his group didn't get to perform during the graduation ceremony, and instead my group that didn't even get the first place have to perform. And I just said to him, if you got something to say, why not tell that to the teacher yourself? And he became really mad. And he was a big and fat guy, and against a small kid like me, what he did was he grabbed me and he hurled me into the air. And then was the first time I ever flew. I literally flew from the canteen all the way to the toilet. Imagine if the canteen was over here and the Mako Bay was the toilet. I flew from the canteen to the toilet, and then my head hit the wall of the toilet.
Whoa.
And I fell down to the ground. Luckily, on the ground was a lot of grass and flower beds, so I didn't got any much damage on my body. But my head, on the other hand, is injured a lot. And the last thing I remember at that time was a lot of red hot liquid gushing from my head. And after that, it went all black. When I woke up, I was in bed, wearing a white shirt that size is a little too big for me. And that's when I realized that I had no pants on. Then only I realized the coldness that I feel around my feet. And then I knew right away that I was in the hospital. So I recalled back everything that happened from the beginning to the end, and then I looked at the side. And of course, in a hospital, beside the bed there has to be a table, and on that table there was a calendar. And when I looked at the calendar, oh, I fainted for 2 whole days. Then I just realized I had missed the graduation ceremony. And then right at that time, my dad came in and he asked me, "Are you alright?" And I said, "Sure, I'm fine." And then he said he knew what happened. And I was like, "Whoa, you knew?" "Yes." And he told me that the teacher told him that a boy told the teachers that I was playing catch and I was running around, but I wasn't looking ahead, and I hit my head on the wall. I was like, where that came from? And I asked my dad, "Well, do you know where the teachers got that from?" And he said, "A big fat kid told the teachers so." At that time, all I could think of was, damn that lying fat pig. And that was the story of how I achieved my dream. But you never really got to know what my dream is.
Yeah.
The thing is, from when I was a kid, I've always dreamed of, I believe I can fly. Touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my away, I believe I can fly. And on that day, I managed to achieve my dream, and that is to fly. Although actually maybe just a half of my dream, because although I flew, I never really got to touch the sky. Instead, my head touched the wall. But I guess that's fine too. So in conclusion here, if you got a dream, no matter how impossible the dream sounds, just go for it. Because sometimes when you are least expecting it, the dream might just come like that. Like myself, I never expected to actually fly right before the graduation ceremony, and then I just did. Although I did miss the graduation ceremony, so I'm not really sure if it was good or bad. But I think that's all for me today. Thank you.